Okay, so let's talk about the upper pulling movement. So straight away, I think of things like the classic one is the pull-up. Okay, that is the main one you'll be talking about when you think of the vertical pulling. Now, yeah, you can say upper pull, you can say vertical pull. Basically, it's just this range of motion and we're pulling in, okay, in this vertical plane. Now, bent arm, 100%. Pull-ups are your main bet. One arm pull-ups, pull-ups in general, negative pull-ups, they are all upper pull. Straight arm is like a little different. I'd actually pair upper pull with front pull. So for those of you guys working on things like skin the cats or front lever pulls, I would very much put this kind of together as it's basically pulling in that position. Now, in terms of the muscles worked, we're mainly talking about like the rear of your shoulders, your rear delts, so behind here. We've got your lats, which, quick fact, are the second largest muscle in your body, and probably along with the glutes, the most underactive muscles that you probably, I'm guessing, you guys are having in your body right now. Trust me. Okay. Then we've got rhomboids, and we've also, oh, that's not triceps, it's biceps. Oh, naughty Ollie. Okay, let me change that. So we've got biceps. Big B. There we go. So if we look this on an actual kind of like visualization, this is what it would look like. So basically the main back muscles of what we got. So we've got the traps, everything that's working in your back. The only thing is here is obviously you can't see the biceps. That's what we're also working. So if we go onto the skill swirl and we have a look at vertical pull, this is the tree or the line that we're working on for upper pull. So if I was to kind of group this, I'd say we're working on activating our lats with the dead hang and the active hang and the scap pulls. Then we start working on our pull-ups. So we're doing holds, we're doing negative, we're doing half pull-ups. Then we're working on, this is by the way, a rope climb with your feet. Then we're working on a full pull-up. Then we're doing things like false grip pull-ups, L-sit pull-ups, pull over, working into things like then the bar muscle up, forward roll. For those of you working on the muscle up, it is a vertical pull, but it's also a down push. And then we're working into things like the front lever row, legless rope climbs. Then we kind of go back to the one arm chin up hold, human flag, 360 pulls, one arm pull-ups, crazy stuff over there on the right, basically. Now, when you're doing your overhead pulling movements, the single most important thing that you have to do is get the shoulder position right. So many times in the gym, I see people doing this, which looks okay, looks absolutely fine, right? And the thing of your body is generally we like to do a lot of things with our arms. So we like to activate the biceps. We like to activate the triceps, right? Because they're almost like the most easily accessible. But what you really need to do, and I hinted on this at the start, is activate the big boys in your back, right? Your lats, your glutes, your rhomboids, etc., etc. Now, what that basically means, you can do this at home with me, guys, is I actually want you to figure out your shoulder position. So let's bring our shoulders up to our ears. Okay, that's the first thing. Then we're going to bring them back, so pinch them back, and then we're going to try and hide your armpits and bring them down. If you're doing it right, you should be sticking your chest out. You should feel almost like you're hiding your armpits underneath. And if you really squeeze down, it's almost another good way of doing it is having something in front of you and almost imagine you're bending a bar. And what that will do is that will engage these muscles underneath, which are your lats, and they work for everything. So what we're doing on the skill tree is we're looking at things like the active hang, and then you can see this in motion when we do an actual scap pull. So if we watch a scap pull, you'll see how Kira is hanging on the bar, and then she specifically activates and squeezes her shoulders back. She lets it go. She activates and squeezes her pull-up back and lets it go, right? This is what we want to be doing to engage those lat muscles, okay? Because then when we actually start working on things like the pull-up, notice how when I am actually up there, my shoulders are back and down. You can see my lat muscles engaging. And from there, that's what we need to be working on when we're working on things like the pull-up. You can see Kira here, when she jumps up and does her negative pull-ups, look at her lat muscles engaging. You can see they're engaging. Not so much in the biceps. She's really, really focusing on squeezing her back muscles, squeezing her lats, because that's where all the power really does come from when it comes to vertical pulling. So overall, guys, in terms of upper pull and vertical pulling, you're mainly working on the biceps, you're working on the lats, you're working on the rear delts, you're working on basically all of the back muscles that you'd see in the mirror. Straight arm wise, it's very similar to the front pull that we're doing, but bent arm, just think of the pull up, and you'll always think about shoulders back and down, activating into your lats to really feel the squeeze in the lats. And this is a fantastic way to protect your shoulder and make sure that you're using the bigger muscles rather than the tiny little muscles in your shoulder as well. So that is vertical pull.